So, after the championship trophies for 2020 were presented, we now get underway with our second final for Junior Rotax. Here is your starting order. So after the first final, Tom Bracken starts from pole position and currently leads the championship standings on 25 points. Kai Gielitz starts alongside him on the front row. So it's a reversal of what happened in final number one. Tim Gerhards in third, ahead of Antoine Broggio. Marius Roos from Denmark, ahead of Thomas Strauven from Belgium. That's row three. Max Knappen and Great Britain's Ethan Jeff Hall. That is row four. Bruno Mulders and Magnus Pedersen round out the top 10, ahead of Theo Blaat, Vic Stevens, Harry Linden, Thomas Stolsemanis, Janis Stiak, who is the only driver that has switched to slick tyres. I've been reliably informed. He starts 15th. Kasper Schormans is not running in this race. He has decided to not start, so there will be a gap where he will be. Farin Mega and Nick Gerhards, row 9. Mattis Turlo and Mikkel Pedersen ran out the top 20. Then it's Daniel Sugar from Hungary, the Netherlands' Enzo Bol, Germany's Raphael Renhofer, Denmark's Eric Martinez, Great Britain's Chloe Chong, Alberto Kiko Fracassi in 26 from Italy. Thomas Kass from France in 27th, ahead of Greta Rosen in the 2:19 from Sweden. Austin Lee representing Germany in 29th place, and Montego Masson from Germany as well. The 2:82 starts at the back of the field. Gazi Motnikar from Mozambique for the second race today has decided to not take part. So, and also I've noticed that Chloe Chong not showing up, having crossed the timing beam. So we could be down to 28 out of 31 drivers. So Schorman's out. He admitted on social media, I did have a look at it earlier on this week, he's been having some problems, a little injury, so I think in some respects he'll look to recover and come back fighting. Red lights ignited for the Junior Rotax contingent for the final time this weekend. As they come through the final corner. Into the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? Let's go racing, and Bracken gets a really good start. Gerhard's just behind him. Then it's round to the outside as we've got a 2x2 hurrah situation, and Stolsemanis has been turned around again. Farin Mega was also there too, and they were literally nigh on alongside each other. Now, the biggest question that everyone is going to be asking is, what is Janis Stiak going to do? Because he's the only one on slicks. As coming out of that turn 6, someone put down an absolute rocket afterburner on the back bumper, figuratively speaking, and lit up the rear tyres and went flying forward and at least gained 3 places. As now Mulders up the inside of Gielitz, who has dropped out of the top 5. So at the moment, as more dramas, and there's Gielitz involved, and Bruno Mulders was alongside him. Well, that's not what you want. It's 3 wide and runoff area having to be used by Kai Gielitz. He had no other alternative. Tom Bracken coming under fire for second position, courtesy of Thomas Strauve. I think Max Knappen is actually with them, as there was a switch there and then some. Thomas Strauven schooled Tom Bracken right there and then, going through the exit of turn 12 and got past the 288. Max Knappen, Theo Blaat rounds out the top 5. Marius Roos, Magnus Pedersen, Kai Gielitz down in 8th position. And Janis Stiak's gamble in 15th. That's dropped him down to 28th position. So the slick's not up to optimum temperature. There is a dry line starting to appear. It is evolving, and you can see it on the straightaway going down the Europalan and heading into turn 7. Mulder's coming into strife now, as there's Ethan Jeff Hall, who's got Antoine Broggio with him, and right on his back bumper going into turn 9. So Gerhard's trying to stretch a little bit of a lead As up the inside of Ethan Jeff Hall goes Antoine Brogio, and there is Bruno Mulders to his immediate right-hand side. But Jeff Hall squeezes Bruno Mulders wide, coming out of turn 11 and makes it stick. There's a few more bits of argy-bargy a bit further down the order. So now it is Gerhards versus Strauver at the front of the field, as there goes Bracken up the inside of Max Knappen. And there is France's Theo Blanc. And Theo Blanc trying to go up the inside there on Max Knappen, but no dice there going through turn 4. Thomas Strauven, who celebrated his 13th birthday earlier on this week. Right, we've had a time penalty issued. Theo Blanc already getting the proverbial slap on the wrist from race control. He's got a 5-second time penalty for pushing, and that's not going to help his points run at the moment. He's currently on, 5 points, and he's currently in 5th place, which would net him 11. But that means that the Frenchman's race has gone slightly south, or as we like to say in the United Kingdom, it's gone a bit Pete Tong, it's gone a bit wrong, as they say. But, that was Theo Blanc behind Max Knappen, as now Bracken puts on the brakes, turns the kart in before turn 12 and shuts the door for the 248. But Knappen goes up the inside, Theo Blanc goes through, and now Tom Bracken in one corner goes down from 3rd to 5th position. And there is Theo Blanc up the inside of Max Knappen. Knappen gets the switchback going through turn 2 into turn 3. Bracken up the inside of Knappen. Knappen keeps it planted round the outside of him and stays in touching distance with France's Theo Blanc. So Chloe Chong unfortunately retired before we'd even gotten things underway, as Austin Lee is trying to get past one of the drivers in front, possibly Thomas Katz. So Janis Stiak all the way down in 20... well, that's Montego Masson. So Montego Masson all the way down in 28th position. As now Strauven was challenging up the inside of Tim Gerhards through the exit of turn 8. The 299 from Strawberry Racing really trying to put a bit of a warning shot to everyone, and that includes defending champion Kai Gilles. Gilles at the moment is on the echelons of the lower part of the top 10. As again, Ethan Jeff Hall and Bruno Mulders, they're at it like a pair of petulant children squabbling over the sweets in the jar. As there is Strauver trying to close in on Tim Gerhards. Gerhards second in last year's championship, leads the way. And this puts him on a possible proviso. There's one kart just up ahead that is going slowly and trying to keep out the way. So at this particular moment in time, you look at where Kai Gilles is, he's 7th, that's 9 points. That will put him on 29. Tom Bracken, 5th. That's 11 points. That's 36. But Tim Gerhards, if he picks up a victory, he'll lead the championship standings with 41 points. But Thomas Strauven, currently on the virtual championship standings, he's currently on 30 points. And Theo Blanc is closing in on them. We've got just over 5¼ minutes plus an additional lap still to go. And I've just seen the times drop off considerably for Janis Stiak, the only brave soul out there that went on slicks, and it did. The gamble failed miserably. Strauven now looking again. Tim Gerhards puts on the brakes, but there goes Strauven trying to go side by side on the exit of turn 2. He tried the switch back there through 3, now into 4. Theo Blanc is with them. Now there's a bit of a biff and a half there, courtesy of Magnus Pedersen for Kai Gilles. There's the 243 up his inside, and that's Antoine Brogio. And there goes Mathis Turlot. That is absolutely close quarter. Robbings Racing, as I've just seen, Theo Blanc has just sent it round the outside of Thomas Strauven, going off of the Europolon through turn 7. They're now going through the exit of turn 8. Wow, Theo Blanc just literally said, I have arrived. And Thomas Strauven felt the shockwaves behind. So Kai Gilles trying to go up the inside. Bangs wheels and side pod with Mathis Turlot. And there's Antoine Brogio trying to close in on the 274. Ethan Jeff Hall is in that battle. That's a 5-way scrap for that place. So an extended lead now starting to appear, and the times are dropping. 1 minute 10.897, the fastest lap for Tim Gerhardt, who leads by 1.1 seconds, as there are more places changing, hand over fist, between the likes of Antoine Peugeot, Mathis Turlot, who goes up the inside of the French driver through turn 4. The rear tyres hooked up and bit into the tarmac here through turn 4, and he literally rocketed up the inside. Bruno Mulders and Ethan Jeff Hall back at loggerheads again. The Brit up the inside of the Dutch driver. Side by side into turn 7. Little bit absolutely sideways there as Mulders loses out to Jeff Hall. Good move by the young Brit. As a little bit further behind, you've got a couple of carts there, and that's Mikkel Pedersen is one of them. So 28 drivers still circulating. But Theo Blaat is trying to close in on Tim Gerhardt. Just over 2.5 minutes remain, plus an additional lap. But the thing is, the way that Theo Blaat has been rocketing his way up the order. Theo Blaat started in 11th position. Okay, he might have a 5-second time penalty, but he's really, really given notice to the rest of the field. So it's Tim Gerhardt, Theo Blaat, Thomas Strauver, Max Knappen. There goes Kai Rielitz up the inside of Magnus Pedersen to now take 6th position. So Rielitz now starting to fight back. Look at that dry line on the main part of the Europalan and heading into turn 7. And unfortunately, Janis Diak was the guinea pig. He was the one that decided to test the water first. And it wasn't cold water, it was very, very scalding hot water, and his toes got burnt as a direct result. And now, Kai Rielitz closing on Tom Braken. So that's for 5th, 6th and 7th as they come out of turn 11. There goes Kai Rielitz up the inside. Braken runs wide. Rielitz up the inside to take 5th position. And then Braken goes straight into the slipstream across the start-finish line. And Braken, what's he going to do now? Is he going to send it? No, he doesn't. He holds back. He waits. He doesn't hesitate. That was a strategic call. And then Magnus Pedersen, Mathis Turlot, Antoine Peugeot and Ethan Jeff Hall. They round out the top 10 positions. 60 seconds plus an additional lap for Junior Rotax this weekend remains. Austin Lee, who had a little bit of an incident where he had to have an A&E checkup. He returned for racing, was cleared by the organisation and also by the local hospital to compete. And he's definitely made a little bit of inroads. He's actually not that far behind Rafael Renhofer for 24th position. But there is Kai Rielitz. He's starting to slightly break away from Tom Braken. But Tim Gerhardt's about to go onto the penultimate lap of this race, as blue flags are being waved, and that is at Janis Diak. So 3rd and 4th, really, well, it's 2nd, 3rd and 4th, because Theo Blaat hasn't actually scarpered away from Thomas Strauver, as Strauver was 7/100ths quicker, as there goes Max Knappen around the inside of Janis Diak. Now the timer has expired for the race weekend. And Tim Gerhardt kept his head cool whilst others lost theirs, has kept in front and not looked back. As Theo Blaat coming under fire again, Thomas Strauven now trying to see if he can put a number on the French driver in the next 3 corners. And he's got the run down into turn 10. Blaat puts on the blockers. But for the first victory this afternoon, it will be the last lap board. Tim Gerhardt's keeping ahead. Strauven has got 1.36 kilometers to do something special. He won't do it going into turn 2, but then Max Knappen not that far behind. Kai Hulitz has been closing in hand over fist. He's in 5th. Strauven looking to keep the run of momentum through 4. Into the left at 5. Theo Blanc hanging on. But the biggest thing here is that when will Strauven make the move? But the thing is that Theo Blanc is currently, he's got a 5-second time penalty for pushing, as now Hulitz is closing. He got really up close and personal in the braking zone to the back bumper. There goes Strauven up the inside of Theo Blanc. Strauven, no matter what happens, will get second, but he'll want to do it on track. I guarantee you that much. But now Tim Gerhards makes his way through to the last couple of corners. Based out of Amsterdam, one of 2 twin brothers in this field, with brother Nick down towards the bottom part of the top 20. Tim Gerhards comes out of the final corner and takes the checkered flag, fist bumps the air, celebrates to himself, and just says, yes, there we go. Theo Blanc, second on the road, but it will be Thomas Strauven that will get that position post-race. Kai Hulitz will take 3rd on the benefit of the doubt that Theo Blanc, and I'm looking at this right now, so Theo Blanc's 5-second time penalty will drop him to 8th position. So Strauven will take 2nd, Hulitz will take 3rd ahead of Braken, Knappen and Magnus Pedersen. So that means that Theo Blanc will drop to 7th. So Tim Gerhards wins by 4.3 seconds at the end of that 11-lap encounter. And now, that's the that's the little hinge on the top of the radiator cover that he's just picked up. It's gone flying off, and you know what? He's like waved it in the air like a trophy. Good on him. Let's have a look at the results, shall we? So Tim Gerhards takes the win by 4.3 seconds. Head of France is Theo Blanc, who drops to 7th. After the 5-second time penalty for pushing gets instigated. And it does happen. And here is the revised order. Thomas Strauven in 2nd. Kai Hulitz rounds out the top 3. Tom Braken in 4th. Max Knappen in 5th. Pedersen, that's Magnus Pedersen in 6th ahead of Mathis Turlo. Ethan Jeff Hall in 8th ahead of Theo Blanc. Antoine Brogiot, Bruno Mulders. Harry Linden finishes in 12th. So again, the youngster from Dinas Powys in Wales takes another few points home back to the other side of the United Kingdom. Thomas Stolsamanis in 13th. Difficult weekend for the Latvian, head of Marius Roos, Mikkel Pedersen, Vic Stevens, Bahrain Mega, Nick Gerhards, Daniel Sugar, Eric Martinez. Then we also have Enzo Bol, Alberto Kiko Fracassi, Greta Rosen. Austin Lee finishes in 24th ahead of Thomas Kans, Rafael Renhofer, Monty Gomassen, and Janis Stiak rounding out the 28 that managed to get to the checkered flag, but Janis Stiak finished 2 laps down, with Chloe Chong not starting the race and actually confirmed as a retirement before things got going, with non-starters from Kasper Schormans and Gazi Motlikar.